Hey, this is Peter from Brompton Bicycle, and we're here at the Sea Otter Bike Festival, and we have some very exciting news that for the first time is relevant to the viewers of Electric Bike Report. We have an electric Brompton, and here it is. Some of you may be familiar with Brompton, some of you may not be, but I'm just going to run through a very quick introduction to what the bike is and how it was designed and where it's made. So Brompton has been made in London since 1975, and it has always been a solution-oriented product. It's something that you can have with you all the time. It folds up very small, so you're able to combine it with other forms of transportation. So it's the kind of product you can have a bike with you, combine it with putting it in the trunk of your car, take it on a train, take it as a carry-on or an overhead bin luggage on an Amtrak, for example. And so everything on the bike was purpose-built to be foldable, to be portable, to be very durable and low maintenance. And so everything from even the brake levers, the shifters, the chain tensioner, everything was designed to fit perfectly on the bike and to work perfectly, whether it's folded and you're kind of rushing to get through a train station, or whether it's unfolded and you're riding, 5, 10, 50, even I've ridden my Brompton 150 miles from New York to Philadelphia. So it's a bike that's for urban commuters, for people who want to travel, and for people who need to fit a bike into their life, whether it's a small apartment or some other form of transportation. So electric Brompton is just the next step for us. For 40 years we've been building what we feel is now the perfect folding bike. Still got more to do there, but we have an electric motor system that allows you to ride up to 15 miles per hour assisted. You can ride it completely unassisted, and what's amazing, and I'll show you in a minute, the wheel freewheels completely. There's no resistance in the motor. So you can actually ride this bike with the power off, and it feels just like you're riding a regular Brompton, with the exception of it being a little heavier. Not to get into too much detail on the specs, we can always look at that online, but it's a 250 watt geared motor. Everything in this motor has been custom designed by Brompton, not just to fit within the width of our fork, which is very narrow, allowing it to fold to the same size as a regular Brompton, but everything from the planetary gear system to the freewheel mechanism that allows it to just spin. I'm going to show you right now. If I lift it up, you'll see I'm just going to spin it lightly, and it just keeps going. So you see I just spin it lightly, and it just keeps going. And this is something I really appreciated today when I rode in from Monterey to Laguna Seca. I did a 17.8 mile ride with 1,500 feet of climbing on less than one battery charge. And that's pretty serious when you look at the hills around here. Maybe I'll share with Pete the Strava route and the elevation profile so you can check that out specifically. The battery system is built into a bag that clips onto the front. So right here you'll see this quick release mount, and many of you who follow e-bike technology will be familiar with this type of plug, similar to what Stromer uses on their charge plugs and a lot of other companies. When you clip it on, it pushes this little dust cap out of the way and it connects in there, and that's pretty neat. So all of the brains of the bike, the controller, are in this block mechanism, and I really like that because when it comes to service on an e-bike, when things are hidden away, you're always going to have more trouble and more cost on maintenance and service later. So the motor and battery and everything plugs into this piece. The battery then connects onto that, and then it lights up, and you can see it turns on automatically as soon as you clip it in place. So right here is your battery indicator. Then you've got power modes, low, medium, and high, or it can be off, and again, it can ride just nicely like that. You've got a light system that's powered by the battery, a nice front headlight, and a rear light as well. So again, the bike is set up out of the box to be a commuter with everything you need. Talk about the battery for a second. The battery is kind of cool. It's nice because you're able to have a bag that's nice and small, or you can have a larger bag. And with Brompton, again, people are going to use this bike, really use it to get around, so they need to be able to put stuff in there. So this larger bag, and I'll open it for you, you can fit everything you would need to commute to work: a laptop, a second battery, lunch. And on the back, you have additional pockets. So when you're riding, these are facing you, and you can actually have like your keys, phone, wallet, maybe a water bottle, something like that. So there's lots of space to store stuff. And this is something that Brompton has had on their other bikes for a long time. Because what's cool is it's not attached to the handlebar. It's attached to the frame, so it doesn't affect your steering. In fact, the more weight you put in this bag, the more stable the bike will ride. The easier it is to carry stuff, because our philosophy is the bike should do the work, right? You can wear a backpack, but you're going to sweat, you know, and you're going to have that weight pressing you down onto the seat. It's going to hurt your butt more. It's going to hurt your hands more. When you take the weight and you put it in the front of the bike, you balance it out, right? So you have you on the back, your stuff on the front, and you're able to just get to it easily. You can reach down and get into that bag. So coming back to the battery, you have the same battery fits inside our bag system. So it's hot swappable. It locks in, but you can take it out and swap it between the two. So whether you start with a larger bag or a smaller bag, you can always get something later. This one's nice because it's a little more aerodynamic, but that one's nice obviously because you can carry stuff. So let's say you're on a 50-mile ride and you want to have two batteries. Keep one inside your large bag, swap it out, pop the next one in, and you're good to go. So it's quite light as well. The battery doesn't weigh too much. It's a 300 watt-hour lithium-ion battery. It's 36 volts, and I would guess about a little less than 10, maybe 9 point whatever amp hours. But 300 watt-hours is what you're going to want to use to compare it to other systems. That way you don't have to think about voltage. So because it's a 250 watt motor, it doesn't draw a lot of power. Because it freewheels, it doesn't slow itself down, which means it doesn't need to speed up as often. It doesn't need to use the motor power as often. That's what allows us to have this lightweight 300 watt hour battery that can get you 20 to 30 miles on a charge. And really, the top speed of 15, our philosophy is the average person riding in a city probably rides between 12 to 14 miles an hour max average. So having a bike that can do 15 miles an hour, with even uphill, you're going to be able to maintain a safe, comfortable, easy riding speed in the city, and it's just going to be easy. It's just going to feel effortless. So we're going to take this out to the hills of San Francisco next week, really put it to the test, do some video work. I'll share that with Pete later so that he can share it with you guys. I'm going to show you some features about the weight of the electric Brompton and some of the ways that the battery integrates with it and some of the features when it folds. So the first thing that's cool to show is when you're sitting on the bike, the battery's in front, the motor's in front, and you're in the back, which makes the bike very balanced overall. You're able to access this stuff easily. You can press the controls on the battery without having to get off the bike. If you need to, you can just stand here real easily and get to stuff. The battery clips on and off from this little button here, so when you pop it off, you're able to kind of like use it separately. And what's neat is if you open this little clip, you can then just toss the whole thing over your shoulder, right, like this. And then if you want to carry the bike, what's really cool is it actually balances perfectly when you pick it up from the middle. So it actually doesn't feel very weighty because it's not dragging you one way or the other. That balance is very important, something they worked on. And it is super light. So the bike is only 30 pounds. The battery is 6 pounds. So altogether, you have one of the lightest, most compact folding bikes on the market at only 36 pounds. So what a lot of people in urban areas encounter is, stairs. Stairs are the bane of the e-bike owner's existence. You just have to get around tight corners. You have to go up and down to stuff. So the bike balances. You've got the battery on your side, and you also have a little cushion on the seat. So you can tuck that on your shoulder. Now you literally are hands-free. You can open doors, you can maneuver the bike around corners, and because the bike only weighs 30 pounds and the battery only weighs 6 pounds, the whole package is really easy to maneuver with. I live in a 5th floor walk-up apartment, and I remember the first time I tried to carry an A2B Metro up 5 flights of stairs. That's a 76-pound bike. I didn't want to do that again. But with the Brompton, throwing it over my shoulder is really no problem. So I'm going to try to fold this bike with just one hand because I'm holding a microphone, and we'll see if my lovely assistant Phil needs to help. So with any Brompton, you unclip the rear wheel, and then it's parked. It just kind of sits like this, so it's partway folded. Then you unscrew this hinge over here, and it's a brilliant mechanism because it's so simple. It just screws in and screws out. It never goes out of adjustment. The front wheel comes around. The seat goes down, the pedal folds, and what's amazing is this 30-pound bike doesn't feel like a 30-pound bike because you can roll it. It has little wheels on the bottom of the frame, on the fender and on the frame, so you can roll it. And then when you're ready to fold it fully, you just clip that right in place, and the whole bike balances and is carried from the nose of the seat. And what's amazing and so cool compared to a lot of other folding bike designs is there's no way you can shake this and it will unfold. It's mechanically and physically locked together by the seat post going through the frame. So let's say you folded it, you got to your shiny office building, you're in your suit and tie, and you're ready to go into work. And you need to go into the elevator, snap your battery on, and now you can just roll it right into the elevator. Roll it under your desk so you can carry it easily when it's folded. And then to unfold it, what you do is just set it down, lift the seat, flip the pedal out, handle gets pushed up, and then the whole thing unfolds just like that. Then when you're ready to ride, just snap the bag right on like this. The battery turns on its own, and you literally just ride. There's no controls on the handlebar. Everything's super clean. There's very little to go wrong. You're literally, the only components you have are the battery, controller, motor, and a torque sensor in the bottom bracket. I just think this is going to be something that changes things for Brompton. It's going to allow new customers who wouldn't consider riding a folding bike in the city to have something that they can ride to work easily without sweating, that can combine with their tiny apartment, fit in their trunk of their car, take it on a train. It's going to be the ultimate solution for an urban commuter. I don't want to give the impression that Brompton is only a brand for people who live in cities, because there's so many people who have tight spaces that they need to have a bike fit into. That's RVs, that's small airplanes, that's boats. So anyone who just is short on space is going to benefit from a Brompton. And for an RV camper, this is the kind of thing you could ride it to the grocery store without having to get your truck out or pull something around. It just allows you to zip around and do little things and come back more easily and more flexibly. And then when you don't need the bike anymore, you don't have to look at the bike anymore. It just goes away. No bike racks, nothing like that. So anyway, thank you guys so much for watching, and thank you, Pete, for the opportunity to speak about the bike. You can learn more at brompton.com. The retail price of the bike, don't want to forget that. That's going to be probably between $3,500 to $4,000, but we haven't really announced what it will be yet for sure. We need to know our landed cost. Anyway, it comes in black or white, nice comfortable handlebar options, 2 gears or 6 gears, so not the full range of Brompton customization, but I think something that everyone will love. Thank you very much.